Oh, the wicked shall cease from troubling. All the weary shall be at rest. All of the saints of the ages, yeah, shall sit at his feet and be blessed. Oh, shall sit at his feet and be blessed. That's one of my favorite songs. I usually try to rotate that song in there. That one in Lord, listen to your children pray. Those of you who've been with me for many years know I rotate those two because those two, at the top of my list. And then, of course, trust and obey. Those three right there. I have 5, but I ain't got time to go through that. Today, well, I ate. Today, it was good, too. So good. We're talking about the powerful living out of Ecclesiastes chapter 9. And it is definitely a good lesson today because it's dealing with some of you people out there who are quiet. The scriptures say, study to be quiet. Shh. Don't just bridle your tongue, but shh. Be quiet. Say nothing. And those of you who have the ability to do that, man, let me tell you, you're going places, and I'm going to prove it right here in today's Sunday school lesson. I'll be right back.
His return is soon to come. Every battle already won. Don't fear nor fret nor be dismayed. But you who endures to the end will be saved.
He who endured to the end will be saved. Y'all, hello everybody. This is Elder Walter Jones of the Faith Temple Church of God in Christ Sunday School. My logos are missing, and the website is going to be missing today. I have to reprogram it in there somehow. It got corrupt. Okay, so y'all know where I am because you can see by the background. You see where I am. 1932 Dewey Avenue in Evanston, Illinois. And I see many of you are here. Thank God for the people here. Bullock is here, and Keys, and Carter, and Thompson. Big ups. Rogers, and God is watching, and Vanessa, Carolyn, and Taylor, and Amanda, and Ron Pringle is here. All right, a lot of y'all. I want to talk to y'all about this thing here. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. This is the superiority of wisdom. All right, Ecclesiastes 9. It started at the 13th verse, but I suggest you read the first verse. It might scare you a little bit. Sherry Goldman, blessings to you. We should not ignore the quiet, thoughtful words of the wise. Don't ignore them, but they don't trend because they're so wise. They just don't trend. There's some people out there, Alan Perkins, blessings to you. It's just a lot of people out there who are wise, but they have no money, they have no prestige, no fame, no fortune, all these things. And so, but they're the ones who quail and ease the pains and the sufferings of people. You know, it's the middle child syndrome. It's me. I'm a middle child. Okay, and I'm the in between. I'm the go between chaos and loudness and anarchy. I come in and I quail the place and I leave, and then they forget who was that masked man. Who was that masked ranger? Ecclesiastes, I want to see if we can find out who is it, who's the writer of Ecclesiastes. I think that Solomon wrote it. Of course, we all see that that's the popular author, but we also see a name here. I think it might be his pen name. That's what I'm going with. Okay, derived from the Greek word ecclesia. That's this word here that we talk about quite often. Assembly. It means one who addresses an assembly. The Hebrew word so represented is koheleth. All right, that guy right there. Some people don't know who he is, but we believe that is Solomon's pen name. When you go up here to the author, you see tradition of Solomon, but may be the work of a teacher who calls himself Koheleth. Okay, otherwise unknown to us. So I think that is absolutely Solomon here, the preacher, the teacher. is generally credited to Solomon, as we see here, written in the old age. The rather pessimistic tone that pervades the book would be in keeping with Solomon's spiritual state at the time. Although not mentioned in 1 Kings, Solomon must have come to his senses before his death. He repented and turned back to God. So we believe Solomon died, but he went back to God. This is what our popular belief is. We are hoping that is the case. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem, seems to point to Solomon. Scattered throughout the book of are allusions to Solomon's wisdom because of the problems posed by the apostate Solomon writing Holy Scripture, and because of some of the languages in Ecclesiastes belong to the period much later in Israel's history. Some scholars believe the book may have had its origins in the time of Ezra, actually. So I see that the scholars kind of line up with, yes, Solomon wrote this, yes, but you can see that possibly either at the end of his life he came to his senses, and then after his death things were added to this book to highlight who Solomon was. It's the same as the Torah. The first 5 books of the Bible, the Pentateuch, was written by Moses, but it seems someone else finished it out. Could have been his contemporary Joshua, because Moses wrote about his death. Or did he? You understand? So we believe that he did die, and then the rest was written possibly by a contemporary of his, possibly Joshua. You understand? So we have come to a conclusion that Ecclesiastes was written by Koheleth, or him being the pen name Solomon. But we want to talk about something here about the quiet. All right, some of y'all, oh man, are just too noisy. One of the pet peeves of mine are noisy people. You just don't want to hear me. You're talking while I'm talking, or you can see when a person is trying to respond to you, but they are not listening to you. They're getting ready to say something that they have to say without listening to you. And you can tell. And some people are loud talkers, just loud talkers. All right. And it's a pet peeve of mine. It's just, I just don't like loud talking attributes. I don't like the attributes. I love the person. I just don't like the attributes. Shh, be quiet. All right, just be quiet. I'm standing right here. Why do you have to scream? All right, this is what's happening here in this lesson today. So this quote that I put on the topic here: quiet people have the loudest minds. They do. Sometimes the lights are off, but everybody is home. Quiet people can be thought of as slow and dumb and rude, or secretly judgmental. In reality, they're often just busy living another life inside of their minds. Although they have a few words, they have plenty of thoughts. Stephen Hawking once said, quiet people have the loudest minds. But what does this really mean? Speaking less and creating silence makes us more comfortable inside our heads, and more time spent here and be for better or worse. In the mind, quiet. What does being quiet really mean? Who decides what a normal amount of speaking is? Who wrote the book? Who created the attribute or the instructional manual on what we can consider being normal? You might be a quiet person because of shyness or anxiety, or you might be an introvert, or just a personality trait. Learning to accept any of these reasons is a difficult thing when society doesn't really want you to do that. And in many countries, United States, there is a cultural bias, just like the United States, towards extroverts. Introverts who are quieter are often thought less of. This encourages and rewards people to speak more. We are looked to as being uneducated, illiterate, because you don't speak that much, and when you speak, you have few words. As a society, we idolize loud and bold people. So when someone has traits that differ, they can be taken the wrong way. And when you're busy running around in your mental maze, others might take the silence differently. And if you're quiet, you might relate to people misreading you. While you feel normal, others take your lack of words for arrogance and rudeness or disapproval. And despite this judgment from society, most times the reasons behind your silence aren't negative ones. You just have a really loud mind. And some people come, to Chicago and they hang with me, whether they live in Chicago, whether they're from another city or state or what have you, and they want to get to know the Sir Walter Jones on the Sir Walter Jones show, and they find out real fast that I am not this loud guy you hear right now. This ain't me. This is the me when the camera is on. The real me don't talk that much throughout my day. I don't go to the parties. I don't go to a lot of the church services and the musicals and all that. No, I'll go to a theater where they're doing the dancing and the singing and they're acting. I sit in the seats, and I don't even do a whole lot of screaming and applauding and talking to the big screen like some black folks do. No, I am the quiet one throughout the week. And people think there's something wrong with me or I'm sick or something wrong, or you discouraged. No. Well, why do I have to be discouraged because I'm quiet? This is the real me, because I'm overly analyzing in my brain. I want to find out who you really are. So I'll let you do all the talking because I'm analyzing you. And when I do speak, it's going to have more weight than a person who's always speaking every constant second on and spewing out everything that they know. And it's like, okay, after a while, you get desensitized to what this person is trying to relate to you, that they are wise, but they turn out to be foolish because they're expressing everything that they have ever done in life, all of the knowledge from their master degrees, PhDs, and everything they've ever been taught. They're giving you award stories, on and on and on. You look silly, okay? So when a person only has just a few words, when I speak in a room, I only have a few words to say, and I'm the last guy to speak. Y'all understand? And my coworker has a hearing problem and speaks really loud. That's different. That's different. But some of y'all got great hearing and you still loud. They think quiet people are dumb, but when they speak, those in the room hush. The E.F. Hutton effect. Come on, Deatrice Carter. Yes, I am always the last guy to speak when it comes to I'm placed on these debating platforms or what have you. I don't talk. No, quiet. Why? Because I'm analyzing everybody on this panel, and I'm analyzing everybody in that audience who's asking the question. I'm analyzing the sponsors of this thing. I'm analyzing everybody. I look outside and I watch the weather reports. I look at the sky, all that, and then I'll speak. And when I speak, you best believe it's going to be heavy. All right. But then this text in which we have here causes an issue because that person right there, depending on their social economical state, can be forgotten. Chapter 9 comes in such a disturbing way that some of you may not understand it, and this is another reason why maybe some people don't read the book of Ecclesiastes in their churches. They'll only read a couple of them that seems nice and cute, but some of them can throw a person off if y'all don't understand the writer of Ecclesiastes. He has cynical tunnel vision in a sense, but what he's saying is life, the way you're chasing after the good things in life and the riches and the fame and the fortunes and all the great stuff. He says, fine, do that. He says, but those of you who are in the world, you're going to die. Those of you who are in the Lord, you're going to die. The end of everybody's journey is death. He said, so go ahead and enjoy life, but in what state are you going to enjoy life in? So it kicks off by saying this, man, I wish I had the time to do this. This too I carefully explored. Even though the actions of godly and wise people are in God's hands, no one knows whether God will show them favor. Nobody knows. This almost is the antithesis. It's like a juxtapose against everything that we were taught in church about asking God for stuff, and he gives it to us. Verse 2 said the same destiny ultimately awaits everybody. Whether righteous or wicked, good or bad, ceremonially clean or unclean, religious or irreligious, good people receive the same treatment as sinners. And people who make promises to God are treated like people who do not. Even God says, I reign on the just as well as the unjust. Then why am I living this life? It seems so wrong that everyone under the sun suffers the same fate. And although already twisted by evil, people choose their own mad course, for they have no hope. There is nothing ahead but death for them, and there is hope only for the living. As they said, he quoted, it's better to be a live dog than a dead lion. The living at least know they will die, but the dead know nothing. They have no further reward, nor are they remembered. Whatever they did in their life, loving, hating, envying, is all long gone. They no longer play a part in everything on the earth. So go ahead. He said, eat your food with joy. Drink your wine with happy hearts. For God approves of this, y'all. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. The old saints told you wrong. You can go out there and have a great time in the Lord. Wear fine clothes. It's okay. With a splash of cologne, he says here. Yes, this is Ecclesiastes saying this. Go ahead and smell nice, look nice, brush your teeth, comb your hair, stop looking like you fasting. Stop looking like you're so holier than now. All right? Put something in your breath, okay? Live happily with the woman you love through all the meaningless days of life that God has given you under the sun. Go ahead, tell your children, go to the prom. It's okay. Y'all go to the picture show. It's all right. The wife God gives you is your reward for all your earthly toil. Whether you do well, for when you go to the grave, there will be no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom. Have a great time, y'all. Enjoy life. He said, I have observed something else under the sun, though. The faster running doesn't always win the race. And the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle, y'all. The wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy. David said, I was once young, but now I'm old. I never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. That was his testimony, ain't mine. Because I begged bread. I was homeless, all right? I was the one asking people for money and food. That was his, not mine. The wise sometimes go hungry, he's saying here. And the skillful are not always successful or wealthy. And those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time is what he's saying here. And people can never predict when hard times might come. Like fish in a net or birds in a trap, people are caught by sudden tragedies. But your churches are always preaching the prosperity thing. And a lot of bad things happen to good people and those who are in the Lord. Even the Apostle Paul was saying he was raising money, raising an offering in 2 Corinthians chapter 8 and 9 to give to another church of Jerusalem. He says you should give. And the people were excited about giving their money. Excited. And they were giving, just giving. He says, don't give till it hurts, though. Don't give to your poor. Don't do that. He says you need to take care of your families. Don't give everything you got to this church thinking you're doing a good thing. You might be doing a bad thing. He says, because you love to give, go ahead and give. He says, but you're giving so that they might have, he says, because one day you may be in need yourself. Wait a minute. Why would he say that when I was taught that when I give my monies, my buckets are going to be full. I'm going to have so much that I have no room to receive and all these things. Like Paul says, no. There might be a time where you may be in need, even though you're giving to these people. It works like the stock market. It works like this. We're up and we're down, troughs and depths and highs and lows. This is the way our lives are. I'm glad it's like that. It's like a wave, and we should be comfortable with this because at the end of our life, we know that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. If you live this life in sin and you're going like this, the end of your life is death, eternal damnation, hell, and hell's fire. And then that hell's fire will be tossed into the lake. You understand? So which would you prefer? Since he reigns on the just as well as the unjust, you want him to reign on the just. So then it goes into today's lesson. It's only a couple of verses. So I thought I'd take you through this verse to help y'all understand. Do y'all understand? Life is cyclical. Come on, y'all. And this whole book can really confuse some of you who don't really look at the whole picture of what Solomon is trying to say. He's telling you stuff that happened to him. He saw stuff that y'all have never seen, or maybe one day will see. Some of you have seen some of the things you've seen. I don't know. I don't know y'all that much, okay? So it kicks in with this. It says, here is another bit of wisdom that has impressed me as I have watched the way our world works. How impressed am I? This is Solomon saying it. He says, there was a small town with only a few people, and a great king came with an army, and he besieged that place. A poor, wise man knew how to save the town, and so it was rescued by that poor, wise man. But afterwards, no one thought to thank this man. So even though wisdom is better than strength, those who are wise will be despised if they are poor. What they say will not be appreciated for so long. You have forgotten many of the wise men and women in your life. You have forgotten them because they are not on your big screen TVs. So he says, better to hear the quiet words of a wise person than the shouts of a foolish king. Better to have wisdom than weapons of war. But one sinner can destroy much. That is good. Listen to the wise in your life. And trust me, you're going to be all right, because some of y'all will forget them again, because depending on their social economic situation. I'm so glad to catch you live, lovely lady. Usually watch, but blessings to you. So glad you're here. All right. Is this making any sense to the inte of y'all? Ecclesiastes is that slap when we get hysterical and out of balance about life. Keys, come on. Always ask, do you have to always say everything that comes across your mind? Sheesh. It's better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you're a fool than to open and remove all doubts. Come on, Ron. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. That's good stuff. All right. And so the best way to cap this off is Psalm 73 is a very popular one here. And I often ask the question as well by this. This is the Psalm of Asaph. And he asked this question, and he was befuddled and baffled by the people who are doing well off. And I'm in the Lord. Why are there all these people are prospering and I'm not? And I am in the Lord. Why ain't God taking care of me? He says, truly God is good to Israel, unto those whose hearts are pure. But as for me, I almost lost my footing. My foot was slipping and I was almost gone, for I envied the proud. When I saw them prosper, despite their wickedness, they seem to live such painless lives. Their bodies are so healthy and strong. They don't have troubles like other people. They're not plagued with problems like everybody else. They wear pride like a jeweled necklace and clothe themselves with cruelty, though. These fat cats have everything their hearts could ever wish for. They scoff and speak only evil. In their pride, they seek to crush other people. They boast against the very heavens, and their words strut throughout the earth. And so the people are dismayed and confused, drinking in all of their words. What does God know? They ask. Does the Most High even know what's happening? Look at these wicked people enjoying a life of ease while their riches multiply. Did I keep my heart pure for nothing? Did I keep myself innocent for no reason? I get nothing but trouble all day long. Every morning brings me pain. I'm in pain now because I've been working out, y'all. My whole body is racked with pain. If I had really spoken this way to others, I would have been a traitor to your people. So I tried to understand why the wicked prosper, but what a difficult task that is. Then I went into your sanctuary. Oh God, I walked into the holy place. That holy place can be your closet. It could be in your car. It could be in your basement. It could be in your bathroom. It could be in the shower. Usually, that's where my holy place is, in the shower. Or it could be in the park. All right. He says, when I walked in that sanctuary, the place where I met you, take me back to the Lord, to the place where I first received you. When I went to that place and I finally understood the destiny of the wicked, truly you put them on a slippery slope, a slippery path, and sent them sliding over the cliff to destruction. In an instant, they are destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. And when you arise, O Lord, you will laugh at their silly ideas as a person laughs at dreams in the morning. Then I realized that my heart was bitter and I was all torn up inside. I was so foolish and ignorant. I must have seemed like a senseless animal to you, wasn't I, God? Just a crazy, senseless animal. Yet I still belong to you. And hold my right hand. You hold my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, leading me to a glorious destiny. Whom have I heaven? Whom have I in heaven but you? I desire you more than anything on the earth. My health may fail and my spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever. I'm trying to tell y'all, this needs to be read in our churches more so than so much prosperity and everybody going to be well and rich and all this stuff. And all we see here and in Ecclesiastes and many other places, that even those of you who are in the Lord will suffer sometimes. Those who desert him will perish, for you destroy those who abandon you. But as for me, how good it is to be near God. In your suffering, be near him always. I have made the sovereign Lord my shelter, and I will tell everyone about the wonderful things that you do. Even in my pain, in my suffering, and on my deathbed, I will tell mankind of your goodness. It may not seem like it's good right now, but let me tell you, when my life ends, I will have the last laugh. You got to see it that way, because after Adam sinned, the earth then travailed like a woman is pregnant. It's in pain. It's in agony. The earth, that means the men and the women and the children and the animals and the trees, the plants, and everything on earth is trembling and waiting on the day, waiting on this time to be rescued. So we are up in the world. We're born in sin, and our bodies will decay. It will vanish away and return back to the dust. So he's saying, enjoy life as much as you can, and go out there and evangelize and try to compel people that you can enjoy all the wealth of the world that they have to offer. But the day is going to come, but you're going to have to serve somebody. Who are you going to serve? You're going to have to serve somebody. And it's two entities there. You're going to serve evil, you're going to serve good. It's wise not to follow the Joneses. Yeah, don't follow us, y'all. Don't do it. All right? Man, listen, it doesn't take long to teach this one. This one was an easy one right here. Come on, balance. This one is an easy one. Didn't take all night to do that. Rescued, Elizabeth says. Yes. Elder Jarrell Watson, what's going on for tomorrow?
Thank you, Sir Walter. We're talking this morning about the superiority of wisdom. The Bible basis is coming from Ecclesiastes 9:13 through 18. And the Bible truth, we should not ignore the quiet, thoughtful words of the wise. Do you know some wise people? Do you know how superior they are? A wise man once told me that all great men are not wise men. Not all wise men are great men. So do you still listen to them? Come join us today and see as we discuss the superiority of wisdom. Back to you, Sir Walter.
Superiority of wisdom. Wisdom. It's going to be great. The four young people will be sitting right there giving us this, all that they have. I'm looking forward to sitting in the cheap seats over there and see what they're going to pour into me, because I don't know it all. April says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. BW is here. Got your gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, BW, anointed woman of God. Love her dearly. Love her to life. I stopped loving people to death. I just love them to life now. Okay? Go to faithtempleevanston.org. We'll put that back up there next week. And so you can give to our ministry. We do this every week on time. It's Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central, okay? Don't be discouraged, y'all. Don't be dismayed. The God that you serve know what's best for you. You understand? He do know what's best for you. So you're either going to be doing great or you're not going to be doing that great. What you keep serving the Lord, and what this Holy Spirit is going to do is going to teach you how to survive in this world. You understand? It took me 50-something years to realize how important my health is. I knew how important my health was, but I just didn't take some people say I don't have time. That's a lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. You have time. You haven't taken the time. When someone said, I didn't have time to call you. Yes, you did. You had time to call. You just didn't take the time. You had time to get your finances together. You didn't take the time. You understand? And so I learned that to get my behind up early at 6:30, that is a great time when it's not as crazy. See, when I have to catch a red eye on the airplane, I get up at 4 or sometimes 3 o'clock if I have to catch a 5 o'clock plane. I know how to get up to catch that plane. I've never, in the many years of flying and the hundreds of planes I've been in, I've never missed a flight, ever. I've always made the airport on time, and I was always there an hour and an hour and a half early. Always. All right? So stop saying you don't have time. So I get my behind up at 6:30. Do it. I don't care how tired I am. I say to myself, now, Walter, stop lying to yourself. Get up. Shake it off. Get your behind in that kitchen and make you some breakfast. Stop being lazy. You are in your 50s, man. And you will not be rolled down the aisle in a wheelchair to your grandson's graduation or even his wedding. No, you're going to walk in there on your own accord with your own Nike shoes on. Okay? Yeah, get up. Eat and take better care of your body. And then get yourself down there to the workout place, get your trainer. If you're spending that money on all these Popeyes and boy, I don't do Burger King and McDonald's and Wendy's and I don't do all that stuff, but I spend money at Subways, and I spend money at these soul food restaurants. I spend money at Applebee's and TGI Fridays. I spend money at Olive Garden and the seafood place. I'm spending all this money eating stuff that I know I should not be eating. I can spend that money now on a trainer who can get my body back into shape so that I can extend my life. I can do that, you understand? Because it's all in the mind. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And so we usually try and blame God for our downfall, but he has, you look around the world and see how they prosper, they're doing the same thing that we can be doing. When I drive to church every Sunday morning, I get to church about 9:15-ish, somewhere around that time, okay? When I'm driving down Skokie, the little town of Skokie, into Evanston, I see people jogging. Guess what color they are? And many of them are older than me. I see senior citizens out there jogging. If it's 80 degrees or if it is 15 degrees, they out there jogging while I'm in my nice suit getting ready to kill them dead, driving with the heat on or with the air conditioning on and just chilling, okay? All right? On my way to church. I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't work out. I didn't even stretch. I didn't nothing. I just on my way to church so that I can work in the temple, okay? And these folk out there being healthy, and then I'm gonna turn around and look at them like they're major sinners because they have good bodies and their finances are up to par. They have great credit report records, okay? FICO scores are nice, okay? They got a nice nest egg. They got an investment plan, all these things. So we're mad at the world for having the things that they worked for. And the church come to church just to say, I decree and I declare. That ain't God's fault. That ain't the world's fault. That's your fault. All right? So stop being the cynical person. Stop looking at the way the Psalm 73, that Asaph person, he was in the same situation that many of y'all are. You're leaning on God, and God is telling you how to take care of your whole body, mind, body, and soul. Let's get back to it, all right? And let's stop using excuses, okay? We can live longer lives if we just take care of our bodies, and we can be prosperous, and then the world can look at the church and envy the church. Look at all those people in church. They are so prosperous. They are so healthy. And this 85-year-old was just jogging up and down the street talking about, I love the Lord, I love the Lord, I love the Lord, I love the Lord. Wow, look at that. And then the world will want to envy you. But yet we're trying to envy the world. So you can't even win them because they don't want no part of what you have because you are broke and your body is sick and you're worshiping the Lord. Whose fault is that? our seniors are home before the sun come up. Come on. Whose fault is that? We come looking for miracles, for things we can do for ourselves. Come on, Sherry. Come on, y'all. This is not popular. Better stewards of their body than the folk. Yeah. We want manifest our words and put in. Come on, man. Come on. Take care of your bodies. You learned all that from watching them jog. Yes, I did, Beverly. I learned all that from seeing them old folk jog. And I've been watching them for 20 years. I've been attending this church for over 20-something, 22, 23 years. And I see those same people out there. They're 20 years older. And because I drive the same route. And they're still out there jogging. But now their children out there jogging with them. And I still wouldn't get up in the morning and take care of my body. I am the fool. And then now I want y'all to pray for me because I'm sick or I'm tired. And then what y'all do is this, and I'm gonna do this and drop this mic and get out of here. Y'all go to these fast food restaurants. There's a plate right in front of you. And I got this from Sharu. Y'all will hear from her soon. Y'all are looking at this unhealthy plate, and then you have the nerve to bow your head and say, God, bless and purify, bless this food that it might be a nourishment to my body. There's poison right there. And you want God to bless the poison so that you could forcefully shove it in your mouth and you say, so that it might be nourishment to my body. When I came into that knowledge of that truth, I said, no more. Can't do this no more. I'm not praying no more empty prayers. Not doing it. Not doing it. I saw a TV show where the prostitutes or where the strippers gathered in a room and they held hands and they said, now God bless us as we go up and down these poles. Let our twerking be a pleasing sight unto you, O God. Help us and protect us as we slide up these greasy poles in Jesus' name. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Whoa. And we judge them, but we're doing the same thing. And all the angels in heaven laughed. Applied knowledge is power. Bless them ham hocks. I could get home because I know it's clean in my house. Come on, Trina. And I say, as it's pleasure on my lips, let it not stick to my. Yeah, man. Y'all want God to bless your poison. I learned my lesson well. If God took out the impurities to make it whole for your consumption, the food would disappear. Right, it's oxymoronic. Bless this poison in Jesus' name. And bless these strippers as they go and receive all these dollar bills from these dudes who left their wives at home barefoot and pregnant so they can go to the strip joint. Bless them all. Bless this stripper house. Bless it. The men's club. Bless it. Bless it, God. Bless it. And the angels laugh, as Amber would say. For my people, it's foolish. They have not known me. They are, what is that? Oh, sadish. Is that the word? Children. They have none understanding. Joan, how you doing, girl? It's good to see you. I got to go, y'all. I appreciate you. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 9:30. The young folk will be teaching tomorrow. And then tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, the pandemic report. Because I want to talk about this funeral this week where Mother Dupree was speaking to a dead woman. I can't do it on this show. I'm in the wrong house. I will tomorrow in my house, 9 o'clock. Sunday school. And marching on. When the storm clouds form, hear the cries of doom and gloom. Sunday school still marches on. Then when the grass turns green and the flowers start to bloom, Sunday school still marches on, marches on, marches on. Sunday school still marches on, marches on, marches on. Sunday school still marches, Sunday school still marches, Sunday school still marches on.